Scientific research at the University of Southern California is being conducted on a grand scale. One office at USC, the Office of Research and Innovation, is responsible for overseeing and supporting research and innovation across the university. One man, Dr. Ishwar Puri, known as Ish, has made it his mission to get to know each of these scientists personally and to understand their work. He accomplishes this by simply having conversations over coffee.
There's a big emphasis today that if you do something, it should be reproducible.
For me, it was all about understanding variation and heterogeneity. In some ways, understanding why two individuals, even who are genetically identical, so they share identical genomes, why is it that they turn out, differently? And it turns out that there are a number of things that are occurring. One is, how they adapt to the experiences and environment. Environment is critically important in driving development. There's some wonderful studies in psychology where they've looked at children who are highly stress reactive, like they have, a trigger stress response. And they are always viewed as children who would have real struggles and real problems in the classroom. So it turns out that if they're in an environment in which there's a lot of social support for them, they're the ones who flourish. They're the ones who exceed expectations. They're the ones who are incredibly creative. Same child, what's changed? Not their genome, their environment has changed.
The Agency for Health Research and Quality in Washington was interested in disseminating a study they did about the best evidence-based treatments for autism. And we applied, with the help of Steve Molden, we applied for a grant. AHRQ's mission was to show the best evidence-based treatments. It was so much better to see these treatments in action. Our intention was understanding autism, treating autism, and living with autism.
We started working with the Dan Marino Foundation. They said, okay, we have an issue with young adults. They're on the high end of the autism spectrum, and oftentimes they're brilliant, they're talented, they can work, they can do jobs, but they choke on the psychosocial interaction in a job interview. They're terrified, so we want to build something that helps them to get through a job interview. So we created a variety of virtual humans, and we could make each of these job interviewers at 3 different levels of provocativeness. So the nice interviewer, the neutral one, and the cranky one. And what it showed was that this is a difficult to engage population, and it's awkward to do live role play practice interviews, but they engage with the virtual humans. They weren't as threatened.
So I did this large and at the time a little bit crazy study of recruiting 75 children and wanting to follow them for 5 years. Over time, I got to observe how this place provided a space of safety for them and their family, a place of feeling belonged to. And as they became better and better musicians, how much they found their voice, their agency, how they found a way of responding to stressors in their life, because again, they're from a community that there are a lot of stresses in their life, from socioeconomically, but also family circumstances. So the music program provided a lot of scaffolding, I'd like to say, to equip them. So it seems that the music really gave them more than just becoming musicians. When you're a musician, you follow measure by measure, and then you have to go back, and then you start again. When one plays music, there's this coupling of the auditory and motor networks of the brain that they have to communicate with each other. Not only those two systems, but the emotional system of the brain, the attention system of the brain really makes a difference, especially in development, in early development.